What's up, netizens? You're watching DarkStar, the only reaction channel that's ready for justice with side order spaghetti. My name's Anthony. My fellow reactionaries, Joe and Chris. What's up, guys?
What's up?
What's up?
So, for the first time ever, we're getting Batman in this rematch with
On a death
Spider-Man.
battle? What? That's crazy.
JK, but it's Batman Beyond and Spider-Man 2099. So, last time we had Batman fighting regular Spider-Man, and Spider-Man kind of wiped the floor with him. What are your guys' thoughts regarding that? I don't know. I don't really know anything about Batman. Like the differences between Beyond and 2099 Spider-Man.
I have no idea either one of them.
I think I watched Batman Beyond, so I at least like have a general idea of like the concept. I legitimately don't know anything about Spider-Man 2099. Like,
well, Spider-Man
literally
2099 is like one of the main ones that obviously isn't a Peter Parker like reincarnate or anything like that. I can't remember what his name is. I think he's like a news reporter. But yeah, I mean, it's not too crazy. I mean, obviously he's got a little bit different tech because it's futuristic, but it's nothing too like insane crazy than the original Spider-Man. But I just, with my personal opinion, I don't see them letting Batman lose twice.
I agree in terms of
dimensional.
Whatever, you never know though. They made Goku lose twice, even though they gave him extra powers and stuff like that. So, but I do think Goku and Superman are both super popular.
According to Death Battle, Goku will always be fighting this losing fight. So
they basically said Goku. Superman was ultra powerful. Can you? Okay, let's watch the analysis. Death Battle.
The future. Everyone wants to see it, and why not? It has robots, flying cars, and of course, superheroes.
Yeah, the future still has those, but they're even cooler because of all the sweet gadgets.
Like Terry McGinnis, the Batman Beyond.
And Miguel O'Hara, the Spider-Man from 2099. He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills.
Was Batman Beyond just a movie or was it a show?
Death Battle.
Show.
There was a movie that way.
Terry McGinnis was your average futuristic high school student.
First part of the trilogy.
Future raves, complained about future problems, had a future girlfriend. Yeah,
Batman Begins.
Until one fateful day when Terry got into a fight.
Is it really?
Of Jokers.
Yes.
What's he got against comedians?
No, a gang called the Jokers.
This fucking guy. Like, Batman Beyond starts off the trilogy of Batman. That makes so much fucking sense.
After possibly
Jesus Christ.
motorcycle chase ever put on television.
Yeah, it's cool. He's got
talking about the Dark Knight
Terry
trilogy.
Found himself inside an
I know. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I get it. It makes it so dumb.
Here, he
I mean, there's fucking Batman right there. He's old and dying.
Bruce Wayne is Batman! Oh, what a surprise! Well, more like he was Batman. He retired from crime fighting years ago because, age is a bitch.
Wait a minute. After decades of secrecy, a punk teenager just happens to stumble into the Batcave? For crying out loud, if he'd found my secret lair, he'd have been vaporized on the spot.
Hashtag lazy riding.
Anyway, Terry's roller coaster of a day still wasn't over. Turns out his dad got murdered.
Dad?
Ben! Uncle Ben!
So he did what any emotionally charged teen who wants to avenge their dad would do. He stole the bat suit.
But not the old cape and cowl of yesteryear. This was the latest and most advanced bat suit. Terry McGinnis didn't just become the all-new Batman. He was Batman Beyond.
You ever wonder what would happen if Batman got a hold of an Iron Man suit? It's basically that, and damn, he looks freaking rad.
The Batsuit's nanotechnology greatly enhances his strength and provides several thin yet strong layers of ballistic and environmental protection.
And he can fly! He can soar faster than a speeding future car, and he's really nimble in the air. Plus, he can always give his punches and kicks a literal rocket boost.
The suit sports over 24 other gadgets for combat and espionage. He has a wrist-mounted grappling hook that can extend over 50 feet. There's a cloaking device, a lock decoder, finger microphones, climbing claws, an underwater breather, thermal and binocular vision, extendable spikes on his arms, flashbang grenades, triple-weighted bolas, a buzzsaw, and even retractable tweezers.
Splinters are no laughing matter. And don't forget all those sweet, sweet batarangs.
Yeah, I never
These
saw whatever
new
this
age
movie is.
ninja stars
The
are
movie
even
that I'm talking
sharper
about
and more compact than
is
before,
the
and
one
they come in a
where
variety of delightful flavors.
Robin
like
ends up
explosive
becoming
and
the
snaring
Joker.
and electrifying. Terry's got a solid
becoming what?
throwing arm and can even
The
disarm
Joker.
multiple opponents with a single shot. But if he's feeling a bit lazy, he can always just use his arm launchers to
Joker
fire
like tortured him or
batarang
something
discs.
happened.
Also, when anyone gets
To where he
too
started
close,
going crazy
the
and
suit
Batman
can act
legit
like a
killed
man-sized taser. The electric
Joker
shock
because
is
of it.
strong enough to stun people,
And then there was a
splice
new
with
Joker that
animal
came
DNA,
back and they were
and
trying to
short
figure
out
out who it
heavy
was, and it
machinery.
turned out it
But
was the
the
fucking
tools don't make the man, Batman. Terry's a master martial artist with plenty of training from legends like former Robin Dick Grayson, totally real ninja Kairi Tanaga, and the former Dark Knight himself. Well, once he got over the kid stealing his suit, of course.
Bruce Wayne doesn't just serve as Terry's mentor, he's also a constant source of advice and information on the go through his direct link to the Batsuit from the Batcave.
One
cheating.
thing, too,
That doesn't
since
count.
Terry's not exactly the world's greatest detective, at least not compared to the old
How do I
man.
fight this
Bruce
guy?
is
I don't know. I got
extremely
my ass kicked
intelligent
by him
and an
once.
expert analyst. Plus, the Batcave has some very impressive technology. Not only does it host one of the most powerful supercomputers on the planet, it's also completely dependent on its own hydroelectric power supply and isolated network.
Still, I don't care who Bruce used to be. Having an old guy barking orders in your ear sounds annoying. Like your dad's always looking over your shoulder. Or at least I imagine, because I didn't have one.
Well, Terry is Bruce Wayne's secret son.
What?
In an effort to ensure there would always be a Batman, government boogeywoman Amanda Waller had secretly overwritten Warren McGinnis's reproductive DNA with that of Bruce Wayne's.
So, like, he was just blasting Wayne babies? It's like all the fun, but you could get out of any child support case. And bonus, I guess Terry's father technically wasn't murdered. Good for him.
Good.
Also, he's got all the benefits from Bruce's kick-ass genes.
Even before going through combat training, Terry was a skilled fighter, strong enough to send opponents flying with a single punch.
In the suit, he's strong enough to lift large I-beams and this giant boulder.
He's even survived getting his leg trapped under Bruce Wayne's trophy penny.
What's so special about a penny?
Just look at it.
Holy colossal currency, Batman!
The penny's diameter is easily 20 feet wide and is frequently dated from the 1940s. This means the penny is likely composed of bronze and weighs around 166 tons.
That's more than enough to crush all the bones in your foot. But not Terry. He was up and at 'em like nothing happened. I mean, this guy's tough enough to take a missile to the face and then fall hundreds of stories. And all he got out of it was a couple broken ribs. What's a penny as heavy as 33 monster trucks gonna do?
He's quick enough to dodge gunfire, skilled enough to defeat lizard people and the Justice Lords. In a newer suit,
The
he could
Justice
fire
Lords.
concussive pulse blasts and even outraced an intercontinental missile, which can reach speeds of up to 15,000 miles per hour. That's over 19 times the speed of sound.
He's still no Bruce Wayne, though. He's kind of a punk and doesn't have the amazing smarts or expertise of Batman Classic.
You don't quite have his magnificent brain, for instance. You do have his heart, though.
Maybe not, but he has accomplished feats equal to his predecessor, like fighting Superman and ending the Joker threat once and for all.
Hey, that's the
Clearly,
movie.
Terry McGinnis has more than earned the title of Batman.
You're pretty strong for some clown who thinks he's Batman.
I am Batman.
I'm Batman.
So, here's an unfortunate spoiler. The year 2099 kinda sucks.
Plagued by a massive civil war between humans and mutants, the world fell into a dystopian ruin of violence and anarchy. The heroic age had come to an end.
But some people still wanted a sequel.
Enter Miguel O'Hara, a child prodigy turned super genius with a penchant for
Yeah, I was
genetic tinkering.
wrong.
Miguel's skills landed him a job at one of the biggest companies in the world, Alchemax, where he got to work
Marvel
trying to
Posers.
build one of the greatest
I
heroes
swear
of
to God,
all
he was a
time,
reporter.
Spider-Man.
Specifically, he attempted to replicate the DNA of Peter Parker, the original Spider-Man. But like most of the 21st century superheroes, not much remained of
This
Parker
movie's so
outside of
bad.
stories and legends. Miguel had to build his experiment from scratch, starting with a single, simple spider.
Unfortunately, Alchemax didn't have the greatest job security. After a lot of bad blood and some spilled blood, Miguel wound up accidentally getting a dose of his own creepy crawly project.
Transforming him into the Spider-Man of 2099.
But future Spider-Man isn't quite the same as your grandpappy's Spidey.
That's right. Apart from the superhuman strength, speed, durability, and improved healing, Miguel's powers are entirely different. Unlike Parker, he can't actually stick to any surface. He can still wall crawl, though, using retractable talons on his fingers and toes, which also make for fairly deadly weapons in a fight.
And he's got fangs like a vampire. If he bites you, he can inject a venom that can paralyze your whole body almost instantly. Also, he may not have Petey's trusty spider sense, but his sense of
some
sight,
sort of like
smell,
weird
and
Hulk
hearing
thing.
are superfied. He can hear noises from miles away, see in the dark, and make out far off.
I didn't get that hardcore into the
In fact,
2099
his senses
series.
are so acute, he wears tinted glasses to keep daylight from hurting his eyes.
And like any Spider-Man, he can shoot webs from his hands.
Miguel doesn't need compact web shooter devices on his wrists. He actually has organic spinnerets in his arms, which create and release thick, durable strings of webbing. Because they're natural, these strings are chemically identical to spider silk, with a tensile strength similar to steel.
Ew. Okay, the original Spider-Man always kind of grossed me out, but this guy's powers are disgusting.
I think Miguel would agree with you.
Well, yeah, one day he's just your average dweeb doing sciencey stuff like you, and the next he's got big lumps in his arms which shoot sticky stuff? Who wouldn't be weirded out?
Miguel saw his newfound power as a curse, a blight which turned him into an inhuman freak of nature.
But that didn't stop him from fighting crime, complete with his own Spidey suit.
His original costume was made from unstable molecules, allowing the use of his talons without tearing the fabric. He also wears a web-like cape made of light bite, which lets him glide through the air.
Whoa, Light Bright! I remember that. Man, do they still have that in the future? And did they find a way to stop you losing those little pegs?
Light bite.
Yeah, whatever. The suit looks pretty cool, so I hate to spoil the mood, but it's
They better
actually
do
just a
something because they
run-of-the-mill
basically
costume from a
upgraded
Day of the
Batman
Dead
from
festival.
Batman to
Not
Iron Man.
really.
Though after meeting the present-day
So far,
Peter
they've
Parker,
upgraded
Miguel
Spider-Man to
received
Spider-Man.
a much-needed upgrade. His new suit contained synthesized unstable molecule fabric mixed with Kevlar, greatly improving his defense.
This suit can survive a shot from a howitzer artillery cannon. A common M777 military howitzer fires 92-pound shells at 2,200 feet per second. That hits with over 100 tons of force.
Miguel's even taken a hit from the Thing,
Lot of tons.
a hit which shattered a tempered glass window and sent Miguel flying over 24 feet.
And the new suit has explosives, hologram projectors, infrared scanning, and it's even got wings and rocket boosters on the feet. Wait, that sounds familiar.
Miguel may be a genius, but he's at his best when he's working with his holographic assistant, Lila, or the Lyrate Lifeform Approximation.
She's basically like the future Alexa with a bunch of extra features. She keeps track of Miguel's life signs and
7 minutes left.
surroundings. With Lila's scanners and his super senses, anyone would have a hard time trying to sneak up on future Spidey.
While Lila was originally built as a home appliance, she can be stored on Miguel's portable communicator. She can act as an onboard lie detector and do advanced calculations to the 20th decimal in a millisecond, which is flippin' amazing.
Fun fact, Lila's appearance was based on Marilyn Monroe. Arrgh.
Not that anybody in 2099 seems to know who Marilyn Monroe was. Okay, seriously, how did they lose so much information in less than 100 years? Remember, kids, always back up your files. It'll prevent the apocalypse.
Well, lucky for them, Miguel got over his emo phase and started setting the future back on track. And he had the skills to do it.
He's quick enough to dodge gunfire, tough enough to take a shotgun blast to the chest, resilient enough to tank electric shocks, and strong enough to rip a 20-ton turret off a tank.
More than that, he helped another Spider-Man keep this giant building
Game was
piece
so
in
good.
place. What even is that?
Likely some sort of antenna,
Wait, that's not
but
the
it
game,
also
maybe?
resembles the mooring mast atop the Empire State Building.
Back when everybody thought Zeppelins were the hot new thing. Because who doesn't like riding a giant flammable balloon full of explosive gas? Sign me up.
Assuming it's composed of steel and roughly estimating its size compared to the Spider-Man on the roof, then comparing the Empire State Building's mooring mast, this should weigh, at most, 200 tons.
So
That's
basically,
the game.
Miguel's a badass, and he proved it in the most epic way possible. After rebuilding the world with Captain America, Miguel inherited the most legendary weapon of them all, Mjolnir.
Want to be
Although
Thor?
Thor's hammer didn't actually grant him its warrior powers, Miguel didn't use it as a weapon, but as proof of his authority, a literal symbol of the societal weight he alone could carry. With his dominance asserted, Miguel created the utopian future a person could only dream of.
And you thought Peter
Is that a
Parker
Green
was
Lantern?
cool. This Spider-Man is at the top.
Miguel O'Hara, Spider-Man of the year 2099.
That's me, ready to save the universe and looking good while doing it.
That's why that was a reporter. He's definitely got a reporter voice.
All right, the combatants are set. Let's end this debate once and for all.
Okay, I'm just gonna roll with Batman because I think that it leans that way. I like Batman more than Spider-Man, although it's pretty close. I like both of them quite a bit. So, although neither one of these guys are really Batman or Spider-Man, the Spider-Mans or that I like. So I like Bruce Wayne and Peter Parker. So
Yeah, I'm gonna go Batman as well.
Well, as much as I would like to pull my Marvel bias, I'm gonna have to go with Batman as well, solely for I don't think that they're gonna let Batman lose twice. So
I don't think he's gonna lose this either. My reasoning, I wanted to let you guys say yours before I said this, but one of my other biggest reasonings is that I think they kept bringing up all these different Spider-Man feats with the tons or whatever, and they were like in like the max. They were in like that 200-ish range or so. Wasn't that Penny one like 2,000 tons or something like that? Like something fucking nuts.
I don't remember the numbers.
He just like shrugged it off. The Batman one I thought was like
Penny was the Batman Penny's 166 tons.
That's actually pretty even. Might actually be wrong then. Spider-Man could win that one then. I thought it was like way more than that, but now I'm not so sure.
I mean, it's ridiculously in Spider-Man's favor for the weight, which makes me still go Batman because they listed 2 for Spider-Man. That was crazy in his favor for tonnage wise. And
that's
one
not
for
really that
Batman.
crazy. I think once you start getting into like the hundreds and hundreds or whatever, they said that he shrugged off basically 166 like it was nothing, and Spider-Man shrugged off like the 200 or whatever like it was nothing. I know it's pretty close.
Okay, yeah.
That means that neither one of them are like at their peak with that. You know what I mean? You don't know how much Batman. I will say this. I would say personally, I watched like a long time ago. I watched the Batman Beyond, like I said, the one where with the Joker, where Robin turns into the Joker or whatever. And Batman seemed kind of like if he's really this powerful, he seemed kind of like a jobber in that one because he was fighting like Joker with basically no legitimate powers or like extra like crazy stuff that I remember, and he was having a rough time. So I don't know. I'm not necessarily convinced that he would beat Spider-Man. I think if I was making it at the moment, I'd lean towards Spider-Man personally. So I could actually see it going Spider-Man's way here. The Batman popularity is pretty big, but I don't know. All right, let's go ahead.
Batman's already got the ass kicked once. I don't see it happening twice. I wish it would. I definitely wish it would. I hope I'm wrong. Please let Spider-Man win. I will gladly take a loss.
McGinnis, keep an eye out. I've been seeing some odd reports regarding this part of the city.
Hey, Bozo! I was brooding there. Who the shock are you?
That didn't seem like enough of a reason to fight.
Right back at you, fatty. Hey, Lila, give me a reading on this vampire guy, yeah?
Of course, Miguel. I can't identify his tech or fighting style, but I can try hacking his suit.
He's too comfortable in the air. Try a different approach. Get to ground level.
I can't move. Damn, that hurt.
Something's trying to hack your suit. Our new friend, no doubt.
How's the hack going?
Nowhere fast.
Get in close and finish this quick.
No problem. Can my fangs pierce his suit?
I think so.
Then I'll finish this myself.
Oh shit.
Lila! Lila!
Jesus.
And Problem solved.
I guess that's one way to do it.
Damn, that seemed like it was fast.
That did seem fast.
Holy
I'll never
shit.
get tired of seeing people blow up. It's always such a blast.
Thanks to Bruce's counsel, Terry used his flashbang to take advantage of
Well,
Miguel's
that's
sensitive
stupid.
eyesight, and his
I
electric
don't
shock
like
that
that.
can short out large machinery to deal with Lila.
Yeah, unlike Bruce, the poor girl wasn't really built for combat. And while her hacking skills were top-notch, the isolated Batcave had the defenses to hold her off.
Even still, Terry's stats edged out Miguel's in more ways than one.
When it came to maneuverability and durability, they were mostly even. Both could dodge bullets and weave through the air. Both could survive heavy ballistic hits. But unlike Terry, Miguel's never outraced anything faster than a Mach 19 ballistic missile.
For physical strength, Terry had him beat too. Recall that boulder that he lifted underwater. This took place in Superman's Fortress of Solitude near the Arctic, so the boulder was likely composed of sedimentary dark limestone, the most common rock type around that location. So we compared Terry's height to the boulder, applied the density for limestone, and subtracted the weight reduced by underwater buoyancy, to find the boulder's weight to be 192 tons.
And he
Science,
tossed it
bitch.
aside like it was nothing. Terry's peak strength in the
That's really
batsuit has to be more than 200 tons.
Assuming Miguel applied his fair share when holding up that antenna, his best strength feat we know of is at max 100 tons.
But he's a Spider-Man. Spider-Man can lift more than that, right?
Not usually. Technically, Miguel's powers are so different from Peter's that we shouldn't really scale him to other Spider-Men. But for the benefit of the doubt, let's do it anyway.
We'll check out two of Spider-Man's most impressive strength feats. The first is the time he braced a private jet while it was landing. Look at him. He's literally the landing gear.
According to Spider-Man himself, the plane's total weight was at most 115,000 pounds. Adding the thrust from a Whittle W1 engine, which this small jet is most likely to have an engine comparable to, this feat comes out to 58 tons.
Not even close to Terry's 200. Then there was this one time where Spidey had to push way past his limits to lift what he offhandedly compared to as a locomotive. Since he could measure the plane, it's likely he's accurate here, but given the time period, that's still only 130 tons at most.
It's clear Terry had a pretty sizable physical advantage. And just because Terry's mind wasn't as fine-tuned as the original Batman's didn't mean he's dumb.
Even more, Miguel never trained like Terry did. Hell, he never really had much formal training at all. But Terry was trained by ninjas, stealth artists, and other crime fighters to be a master in the battlefield. And since Miguel didn't have a spider sense, Terry just had to wait until the untrained future Spidey left an opening.
In short,
That was
while Miguel
while they
wasn't
were fighting,
completely
but it
outmatched,
ended so
Terry's
fucking
superior
quickly.
strength,
That's what I was
intelligence,
gonna say. The biggest thing that's
equipment,
gonna,
and
as soon as
training
you do the
won the
flashbang, that was the
Turns
first thing I
out
popped
this
on my mind. The biggest thing that's gonna go
Batman
against him is the fact
was
he doesn't
beyond
actually have a
The
Spidey
winner
sense.
is Batman Beyond.
Fucking. The
Yeah.
reason the battle was so
Stick
short
around,
because they had a
we're about to
fucking
announce the
4-minute after fighting out. Explain the reasoning.
It was.
Look, guys, calm down, okay? This is what happened.
So basically, okay, so the way I agree with their analysis based on the rules and that they decided to do. But like I feel like most of their battles are like 1v1s unless they specify. Like this battle should have been called Batman Beyond plus Bruce versus Spider-Man 2099 plus whatever the fuck her name was. Like that was,
You
you
wouldn't
know,
have Bruce telling him to like take him to the ground, get in quick and finish him. There
Yeah.
to stop the hack. Well, obviously the hack would have been taken out too. But
it's different when you've got like an, I don't know, was that chick said to be an AI or was that a person? I can't remember. That's a person, right?
yeah,
Oh, I thought it was the.
Oh, was it an AI?
No.
Okay, well then I guess she should have been allowed or something like that. Like AIs, I think are fine because they're like they're objects, they're tools or whatever. But like an actual person like helping you is not like the same thing or whatever. But to be fair, I think the reason why they included that as well though is because of the fact that if they didn't, then the battle doesn't really work because she could potentially just hack a suit and that'd be the end of the battle, which would be a dumb battle. So, all right, well. Batman gets a W over Spider-Man. I'm sure the Bat fans are happy. Joey, are the Bat fans happy?
I need to check online and see. Give me
Yeah.
a reaction. Yes.
You're not a Bat fan? All right.
Well,
Well, that's going to do it for this one. Next week, we will check out another one. I don't even remember what it is, but we'll check it out. Till then, stay bright. Catch you on the dark side.
dudes. If you like that video, then don't forget to like and subscribe. If you want early access to our reaction series, you can support us on Patreon. Also, don't forget to check out the links to our Twitter and Twitch in the description below. Thanks for watching.